Hello everyone, today I'm going to be taking you to Satura Patisserie. Satura Patisserie is a French and Japanese fusion bakery in Los Altos, and I went there first a couple years ago and I really enjoyed them, so I thought I'd head back today. I have a couple of friends that really enjoy their Japanese cheesecake and strawberry shortcake, and I really want to try it because in the past when I've gone, they've been sold out when I've been there, so I'm really hoping I can get my hands on some today. Let's head over to Satura Patisserie right now. It's been a couple of years, so I'm really curious to see what I can find. I'm back from Satura Patisserie now, and I'm so happy because we got the two most important items, the strawberry shortcake and the Japanese cheesecake. We also got this super wide variety of other cakes. We got a chocolate cake, a mango cake, and just so much more. To start off, I'm going to try these two beauties right here. This is the orange brioche and the raspberry donut. I'm going to start off with this orange brioche, and this is one of my favorites. This is heavenly. The brioche is so fluffy, and I love the glaze they put on there. It's this orange glaze, and it's so sticky and sweet, and it's spread very thin, so it's not overly sweet. And the center is my favorite part. It's a whole orange slice, and it tastes like it's been baked onto the brioche, so it's kind of caramelized, and it's sticky and chewy, and it's a little bit bitter, actually quite a bit on the bitter side, so you definitely have to like your bitter things to enjoy this, but I certainly do. It definitely reminds me of orange marmalade. It's almost like orange marmalade bread, only 10 times better. Now for the raspberry donut. I really enjoy the raspberry donut as it's very different from other raspberry donuts I've had in the past. It almost tastes like a cross between a bread and a donut. It's really light on the grease. It really doesn't taste greasy at all. And it almost tastes like they're using a bread dough. So once it's fried, it has this really almost slightly chewy texture that's nice. And I love the filling as well because it's a really tart raspberry filling. So it really cuts through the sweetness and it's not overly sweet. Next, I'm going to be trying these two cream puffs. We have the original vanilla cream puff as well as the matcha cream puff. This is one of their popular items. Oh wow, these cream puffs look amazing. The cream is just filled to the top and the cream is literally spilling out of them. Normally, I'm not super excited to try vanilla flavored things, but this vanilla cream puff looks really good because I can see all sorts of little specks of vanilla bean in the cream. So I have a feeling it's going to have a lot of flavor. Wow, this is one of the best cream puffs I've had in a long time. The crust is so thin, it's soft and slightly crumbly, and it's really buttery, which I think really adds a lot to here. It's so thin and it melts in your mouth. And the cream on the inside is really delicious as well. It's so rich and creamy, it almost tricks me into thinking it's custard. However, I can still tell that it's a whipped cream because it's so light and fluffy, and I think it's really due to all the vanilla flavor in there because it just overloads all your senses, and I really enjoy that. I mean that in the best way possible. Now for the matcha cream puff, I think the vanilla one's going to be hard to beat. While this matcha one doesn't beat the vanilla one, it certainly does match up with it. It tastes really high quality. I can tell they're using a really good quality matcha powder because it just tastes so earthy and it's not overly bitter. It's definitely the right proportion so it doesn't overwhelm the pastry and the flavor goes really well. Now I'm going to be trying one of my friend's favorite items. This is the strawberry shortcake, one of the things I've never been able to try. I'm definitely impressed by the strawberry shortcake. The cake itself is so light and fluffy, it definitely tastes like a sponge cake, which I enjoy, and believe it or not, I do see a couple small pieces of vanilla bean in there, so I really think that adds to this. The whipped cream ratio is also perfect, and what really surprises me, and honestly is my favorite part, are the strawberries, because I know it's October, so it's not really strawberry season, but they definitely do taste like they are in season, because they're so sweet and fresh and juicy. They taste like they were just sliced up a few minutes ago. You really need to try this if you're into strawberry shortcake. They make it really well and it's so light. Now for the other item I've really been looking forward to. This is the Japanese souffle cheesecake. This is quite different than other Japanese cheesecakes I've had in the past. Just like other ones, this one is very light and fluffy. However, they also have a layer of sponge cake on the bottom, which I think goes really well together. And I like that the top of the cheesecake is really nice and toasted. And this definitely has a lot more robust flavor than other Japanese cheesecakes I've had in the past. It just tastes like a fluffy New York cheesecake without like the heavy crust on the bottom, and instead you have almost like a sponge cake crust. So a really interesting take on Japanese souffle cheesecake, but I do love it. Now for the yuzu chocolate cake, and I was excited because I looked at their website before I went and I saw that this is one of their new items, and I was hoping they would have it, and they do have it. Yuzu is one of my favorite citrus fruits, possibly my favorite, so I'm really looking forward to trying this bite. Oh wow, it is so yuzu-y. The top half tastes like a yuzu cream, also topped with almost like a yuzu jam, and it's really bitter, so do be warned. But I love it. It's almost so fragrant, and it's definitely the strongest yuzu item that I've ever tasted at a bakery before, and the chocolate cake goes surprisingly well because you do get a little bit bitterness because it's like a dark chocolate, and then on the bottom you have this really light and crunchy, almost crumbly hazelnut crust. And obviously, hazelnut goes great with chocolate, but I had no clue how good dark chocolate goes with yuzu. Next is the mango coconut cake, and I've always loved this one. I really enjoy this cake because I can really taste all the layers. As I bite into it, I can taste the mango jam that's on top, and then I taste a little bit of the coconut cream, and then you have a layer of cake, and then you have a layer of rich mango-y cream, followed by a layer of cake on the bottom, and it's a lot of fun to eat. This cake is nearly perfect. I love the intense mango-y fruity flavor, however I do think it could use a little bit more coconut. Now for the citron tart, and this basically just looks like a lemon tart, and I do love lemons, so I think this will be pretty good. This citron tart is powerful. It's really sour. You definitely taste a lot of lemon flavor, but it's definitely balanced out, and you really do need the little bit of white chocolate that's on top. It really adds a nice sweet creaminess, and it almost tastes like a white chocolate paste. I don't really know how to describe it. It just has this very soft texture, and it goes great with the tart. I just love the presentation of this and all of the desserts in general because I can tell they really take a lot of time decorating them. Now for the Earl Grey cake. Really, what's not to love about this Earl Grey cake? I love the presentation. It almost has a pink powder on top, and it's also with a little bit of piped whipped cream, and they have these pink candy pearls on here. I think they do a really good job of the presentation, and the flavor is great as well. On top you have Earl Grey cream, then you have cake, and then you have Earl Grey almost like custard. It's really dense and rich and almost buttery. And then on the bottom, you have that same delicious hazelnut crust that was on a yuzu chocolate cake. We finally made it to the last item. This is the chocolate cake, and the cashier said this is one of the most popular items, and I'm really impressed with the glossy top because it is so shiny. I can literally use it as a mirror and see myself in it. Oh wow, this is just luxurious. The top is so rich and chocolatey, it's almost like a chocolate glaze, and you also have layers of chocolate whipped cream in their chocolate cake, which is surprisingly dense while also being fluffy. It's just really chocolatey, and I feel like they bring out some of the flavor because they might use espresso. At least I think they do, because that would really just bring out this intense chocolate flavor that I really appreciate. I really loved all the items I tried here from Satura Patisserie. However, my favorite is the yuzu chocolate cake. That just stood out above the other ones because I really adore yuzu and it had a really intense flavor. As an overall rating, the taste is just out of this world. Very well done. They use high quality ingredients. Also, the craftsmanship was great because they all were super decorated nicely. I think they're all really pretty, and they certainly spend a lot of time trying to make it look nice. However, the one downside is the price because like almost anything these days, it is a bit on the pricey side. Let me know in the comments down below which of these items looks best to you, and if you've been to Satura Patisserie before, let me know what your favorite item from there is. And yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure if you did to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.